through San Diego State, and he gets drafted, and then he starts a coaching career post-playing, and he's coaching some guys that end up being top picks in the draft. And now it comes full circle as he's back on the Mesa. He's back. He's the quarterback coach at San Diego State. I would imagine that some of those Aztec group texts probably pretty excited for Ryan Lindley, who is back in action and back on San Diego Sports 760. Ryan, welcome back. Darren Smith, we appreciate you.
No, of course, man. Always. So this is a second home for me here back in San Diego. So I appreciate having me on.
Well, we appreciate it as well. Like I said, it's just been interesting to think we've been doing this a while when you can remember people from their high school days now into their professional days and all the stops in between. How'd this happen, Ryan? Give us a little bit the Cliff Notes version. How this happened for you back in San Diego State's on the coaching ranks?
Yeah, no, I mean obviously it's the timing of it is not ultra conventional. Usually the windows, December, January, when a lot of moves are happening. But obviously the position I was in at Mississippi State and in an analyst role now in the SEC, that probably means a little bit more like the mantra is than it does everywhere else. But in a way, you're kind of in a position to be able to move in either at the spot you're at or move in somewhere else pretty quickly, since you're kind of an auxiliary coach. So obviously, I think just the tie here, unfortunately with Coach Heck, stepping down or stepping away, it just opened up a spot. And this is a place I always wanted to be back home. And when Coach Heck comes calling, it's a guy you played for and you believe in and trust and care for that much, and obviously care for this place. And it's hard to say no when you're called upon.
Yeah, I've heard different versions of that. I remember Al Groh. Al Groh was coaching the New York Jets, and the University of Virginia came calling. He's like, hey, you always got to listen when mom calls. Is that how it feels when it's San Diego State on the other line, Ryan? You've had opportunities, but when it's San Diego State, it's coming from a 619 number. You're like, yeah, of course. Like this is everything to me.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of it. I mean, to be honest, I consider Zach Arnett to be not only just a guy I respect greatly in the business and his ability as a coach, but also a friend. So the opportunities that he gave me there at Mississippi State, and what he's done for my family and I, and it was really hard too. So and now when I had that conversation with him late that evening a couple weeks ago. He kind of said the same thing. He said, listen, it's home. Not only is my family here, it's where I went to school. It's a guy I played for. He goes, I can't with a straight face tell you not to go, or tell you I don't give you my blessing, essentially. So that helped a lot too. But it's a special time, and obviously it's been hitting the ground running. Everything's a homecoming until you really put your feet on the floor and know you got to get to work.
Yeah. Well, tell us a little bit about that. What were those first couple of days like for you back in San Diego?
Yeah, no, it was, for me, luckily they played on Friday, so there was a little extra day in there that we could get some prep and get ready for the shorter week, I guess, for me prepping against Hawaii. But, Coach Horton, all the guys here did a great job. A lot of the game plan was kind of instilled. We did some situational stuff once I got here. So, it was really for me just getting to know the quarterbacks in the room and trying to, get the best feel I could for the situation and the personnel that was in there. And obviously with Moose coming in being new as well, it was a training camp, spring ball, and everything all rolled into 1 week. Get ready for a game. So it was 100 miles an hour there for about 3 or 4 days. And obviously, once you cut it loose on Saturdays, you just let the guys play and hope they feel comfortable.
Ryan Lindley is San Diego State's quarterback coach, joining us on the all-new San Diego Sports 760. Right. I mean, Moose, obviously, you're talking Jalen Maiden. So, the quarterback room, though, Ryan, what did it look like when you got there? Because I don't remember exactly where we were with the depth chart, but I don't think it looked then like it does today.
No, and it's I still don't really know the exact situation. It was, when I came here, obviously we're in the middle of, weren't sure where Braxton was at, coming off of an injury. And really, obviously younger guys, another guy that had kind of got knocked out the game before. It was really just kind of seeing who was available. I mean, I really didn't know much about a lot of the bodies outside of Braxton. You follow it as an alumni, and you kind of keep tracks on the guy that's playing. But outside of that, I didn't know a whole lot. Now I knew of Moose. I'd seen him play in some limited action the year before. So it was kind of one of my questions once I got in there. I knew he moved to safety, and kind of seeing just the limited number of bodies we had in the quarterback room, I was curious if that move back was a possibility. And obviously it's worked better than any of us could have imagined.
He is what a player he is to watch. With all respect to anybody who's played that position, even since your time, Ryan, he's really easy on the eyes when he's out there and he's playing. How about from your vantage point, what it's been like just watching this over the last 3 weeks?
Yeah, I mean, even this weekend, I told him it's as proud as I've ever been of him the short time I've coached him because the number one thing about him that you just tell from the first time you meet him in day one was he's a competitor, and what he did switching and playing defense and playing safety and special teams, he had the utmost respect of his teammates, and really just seeing how he could galvanize the group. I think that's the number one thing he's done in every game he's played thus far. Whether you need those moments to pull away, and he provides those. He provides the spark, and he gets guys going in all three phases really because he's got the respect of everybody in the building. But one thing I also say, looking back, like there's a reason he was a 4-star quarterback coming out of high school. He's a really talented kid, immensely gifted athletically and with his arm. So, my number one thing is kind of just to get him as comfortable as possible, as fast as possible. He's made really good decisions with the football for the most part, and he wants to work. He's in here as much as possible, and there's just a lot about the guy. That he's got his head screwed on straight and is in it for the right reason. He just wants to compete, and you kind of dial it in from there, and you'll be in good shape.
Yeah, and I would think, Ryan, there probably is something to the timing of this, right? That we have offensive coordinator change. You come in as quarterback coach, so it's a totally clean slate in terms of the people who are going to be coaching him. I would imagine that probably helped a little bit, just in terms of everybody feeling comfortable with a decision like that.
Yeah, I think that was one of the first conversations he and I had. Was I essentially said, hey, I don't know anything up to this point. I'm only going to go off of what I see from here on out. So almost giving him a feeling. Once you leave, I know he came here the year before as a transfer quarterback, and you kind of hope there's a clean slate there. And whatever happened, I don't know. Obviously, to have him where he landed on the depth chart, but I kind of just told him, hey, here's another clean break. You got a chance. I just want you to cut it loose, have fun, play hard, and just make the best decisions possible. And he's done that in every way, shape, and form. So he continues to grow as a player. I mean, it's still mind blowing sometimes the things that he does, considering that he never really took a snap before 3 weeks ago for a year. So I'm excited every day I get to work with him, and he brings such an energy to the guys, and is just super hard on himself too. I mean, that's the number one thing. There wasn't a guy that took the loss this weekend harder than Moose. I think the guys know that he cares and puts everything into it.
And speaking of everybody, the loss, everybody watched it. We talked about it a lot yesterday, Ryan. And I hear Coach Fisher in my head, right? Steve Fisher always saying how you can't let one turn into two. So how do you all approach that this week, getting set for UNLV at 4:00 on Saturday afternoon in Snapdragon?
Yeah, I think we got a great group with that. I think we're past it. The 24-hour rules hit. And I really that's a theme though. You talk about Coach Fisher. That's the theme with Moose. Play to play. I think that's the number one thing I've told him. He's been through a lot as a player, and I think he really wants to be successful, and sometimes can be really hard on himself. So, I just let him know that play to play, our kind of deal is just flush it. Play to play. Whatever happens to play before, don't let it negatively affect whatever you're looking into and your read progression or whatever else may be the next play. So he's done a great job of that. I mean, I think our guys came out yesterday. We had a light practice, and they came out with good energy. I think they were focused and motivated, but gained confidence from the really good things we did this past weekend.
How much different does campus feel for you at this stage of your life compared to when you were the big man on campus, making setting all those records for the Aztecs in your day?
Yeah, I mean, I can walk over across campus to Trader Joe's. That's probably the biggest difference. But it's amazing what's been done here. I mean, you have to give President JD. There's a lot that has just been improved. Whether you're right around the Fowler, the athletic center here, the AHOS, it's obviously Snapdragon is absolutely phenomenal. It's really night and day. And even for me, it was a big change when I came here in 2018 as a GA. And it's even massively changed since I was here 4 years ago. So I think whatever happens, obviously there's a lot of speculation of where we sit in the future of college football, but I think the future is extremely bright, and I'm absolutely ecstatic to be back here and helping us win some football games.
Well, dude, I've said this a million times. There are certain guys that we had a chance to get to know a little bit, and you're in the group as well. How much people love this university, how much people love this football program. Kirk comes on the show all the time. Kevin, obviously, the things he's doing now and what he's done in his career, and you are very much part of that group as well. And I do love that. You know, I love when people really care about it. Adam, I know, on that staff, he's up there doing his things as well. So, you know, I think that stuff matters to have people that are emotionally, that are tied to the program and tied to the university the way you are. And, you know, you can't help but be optimistic about what the future looks like with you all involved in it.
No, I appreciate you saying that, and I agree. I think that's what makes this place special. And you know, it's just it's the people that are here, number one, and obviously they're invested. There's plenty of Aztecs on staff here between Pumphrey. You know, there's a lot of guys. You mentioned Coach Hall, and it's really a special place to be back, and just seeing how much guys really are invested in the program from top to bottom.
When Marty got you on the phone, did she refer to you as Coach Lindley? Did she say, Coach Lindley, thank you very much for joining us?
Well, you know, I mean, listen, like I said, you guys are dang near family, so we can go off first name basis at this point.
Well, like I said, man, it's just been a fascinating thing to watch. You know, to watch your career and see these different careers, and so you know, happy for you all as well and all of your success. Ryan, we appreciate it. Thank you very much.